Welcome to the Honey Love Dating Academy YouTube channel. I am Coach Honey Love, aka Erica J. Holston. I'm so excited to be here with you today because we are going to have a little girl chat when it comes to love and relationships. Today, we are going to talk about why modern women are addicted to toxic men. When it comes to this, and I just think about the single ladies that I help overcome their dating obstacles, overcoming their exes, and for them to stop dating someone who is familiar to them and start dating a marriage minded man. And most times we do talk about toxic behavior. So for yourself, you may had been in a previous relationship where there was verbal abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, or the relationship was just toxic all the way around. And that is something that you may not have wanted to be in, and you have reached a point in your life where you are saying, God, I do not want to be in this type of relationship anymore. I want to be in a marriage minded relationship. I want to be in a relationship that leads to courtship. I want to be into a relationship where this leads to marriage. So if this is you, if this is your heart desire, you are in the right place. So, why modern women are addicted to toxic men? Number one, he could be familiar to them. So, for example, a woman could have been in a long term relationship or even in a short term relationship. She could have not felt good about herself. And while she was in the relationship, she would notice that a man would manipulate her or make side comments by being snarkish or would say things that were verbally abusive. And because of this, it made her feel bad. It made her feel not good about herself. And the behavior just continued from the man. And so when it comes to when she ends that relationship or when that relationship ends and she meets someone else, let's say the new guy that she is dating or gets in a relationship, he does the same thing and he makes the same type of comments. He makes the same type of manipulative behavior. And because of that, she is familiar with that, and with her being familiar with that, it can be an addictive, toxic behavior. And in the sense of it is a cycle. And when it is a cycle, it's just like, okay, I know that my ex treated me like this. I have started to date or I'm in a relationship with a guy who treats me the same type of way. And even though she's in that situation, she could be addicted, but it doesn't mean that she wants to be in that type of relationship. And maybe you can relate. Maybe you have been in a toxic relationship or even in a toxic marriage. And now you have reached a point to where you want to start dating and you want to end that toxic behavior. You don't want to date a guy who wants to mistreat you, who wants to manipulate you, who wants to verbally abuse you, who wants to physically hit you or bring any type of hurt or harm your way. So that's number one. Number two is there are a lot of women who like the bad boy type. If you think about some of the reality shows, if you think about some of the things that you watched on TV, If you grew up watching MTV or BET and you were watching music videos, a lot of those videos had bad boy types, or even in your local neighborhood, when you grew up, there were bad boys, and maybe he had the car, he had the jewelry, he had the money, he had the power, or he had the influence. And because of that, that image in your mind could have made you feel like I am attracted to the bad boy type. And when it comes to that toxic behavior, many bad boy men or grown men who had bad boy behaviors, they don't know how to treat women because they treat women as they are disposable. They treat women with a lack of respect, and they treat women and don't cherish them because they weren't either raised like that, the game didn't teach them to be like that. And because of those things, that is toxic. So, from a woman's perspective, some women are attracted to that type of man because of the power or the influence that he has. And it is a chemistry that she is drawn to, and with that chemistry and being drawn to that, that's the reason why she could be addicted to that toxic behavior. Number three is that some women think that they can change a toxic man. There are so many times when I am in my coaching one-on-one sessions, or even in the Honey Love Dating Academy when I am teaching the master classes. And I love teaching women to be who they are, to love God, to focus on the things that they desire in a marriage-minded man. Not only that, to think about if you are trying to change a man. This is the reason why I always encourage women to ask men questions, to take your time and don't try to rush the process. Allow yourself to take the time to get to know him. Allow yourself to really self reflect on the type of man that you are dating and seeing if his words and his actions align. So, when it comes to trying to change a toxic man, when it comes to trying to take on a man as a project and to think to yourself, oh, I can change him, or he didn't mean that, or even though I saw that red flag, I can change him. I could just love the toxicity out of him. And I just want to share with you that when women think that they can change a toxic man, it is a uphill battle. A man should want to change on his own merit. He should want to change with his own motivation. As a woman, when you get into a dating experience and you date a marriage minded man, you want to date a man where it is a two-way relationship, where it is a fruitful courtship, a fruitful friendship, a fruitful relationship that is leading somewhere where you don't feel like you have to do all of the work, where you feel like, you know what? I can actually enjoy this dating experience. I can actually enjoy this relationship. And so, again, when it comes to trying to change a man, honey, it is a uphill battle. And he'll do things or he'll say things and he'll say, I didn't mean that. I wasn't thinking. I won't ever treat you like that again. And as a woman, if you think that you can love that bad behavior out of him, if you think you could love that red flag behavior out of him, sweetheart, it is going to be a uphill battle. So you cannot change a man. Only God can change a man. and only a man can change himself on his own merit. He has to want to change. You cannot change a man. A man has to want to change. And so when it comes to being addicted to this toxic behavior, thinking to yourself or even believing that you can change a man, it is familiar, especially if you have been in a previous relationship where you thought that you can change a man and you found out that you couldn't because it went from bad to worse. And let me tell you, I can actually relate to that. I don't necessarily think when I was a single woman that I felt like I could change a man. I felt like I could, well, I guess if I were to be truthful and honest, I would say that I did feel like I could love a man and maybe he would change. I don't know if it was from a perspective of trying to change a man by loving him, but I'll just say, yes, I'll admit it. Yes, I probably did think that I could love the toxicity or the bad behavior out of a man, but within a 4.5 year span, I found out that I couldn't. So I just want you to know that I can relate, and it does get to be addicting because you could possibly be in that relationship. You can see some good things about him. You can see some good things in him, and you can see that he is trying to change. But then shortly thereafter, the next thing you know, okay, he does the same thing over again. And so when you are on that uphill battle and you continue to be on that cycle or that merry-go-round, it's just like, what are we doing? Hmm. And so for myself, I did had to end that 4.5 year long-term relationship. I went on a 3 year transformational healing process with the help of the Lord. And then the next thing I know, within 3 years, I had met my husband. And I'm glad that I left that relationship. So, my message is a message of hope. So, you don't have to be addicted to toxic behavior. You can actually come out of those things. The next thing is sometimes some women are addicted to toxic behavior because it validates you. You feel like, oh, if I put in this much work, that it validates my worth. It validates that I can change a man. It validates that I can love the bad behavior out of him. It validates you in the sense of I am putting forth this work, and since I'm putting forth this work, it makes me feel good about myself, right? So what happens is that if you think that a toxic man or relationship can validate you, again, it is going to be a uphill battle. It's going to be hard, and I just love encouraging single women by saying, when you are in a healthy, fruitful, marriage minded type of relationship with a man, the relationship isn't hard. The courtship isn't hard. When you are in a relationship with a man who wants to put in as much as work as you do, honey, listen, okay? You put the work in together, and it is not as hard because you have somebody who wants to put in the work with you, who wants to encourage you, who wants to support you, and who does not want to tear you down. If anything, a marriage minded man wants to affirm you. The only person or being that should validate you is God Himself. Your identity comes from God. It does not come from a man. If anything, a man should be able to affirm you. Okay, last one. Some women, some modern women are addicted to toxic men because their self worth is inside that man. The way that he talks to her, the way he treats her, it's like it fuels a woman by the gifts he buys, by the places he takes her, and all these things. And her self worth is inside of a man as to how he treats her. So when he starts to treat her badly, then she feels bad about herself because her self worth is in him. I have come today to give you hope by saying your self worth, your identity is not in a man, it's in God. When you date your future husband, he is going to love you, respect you, communicate his feelings with you. He's going to let you know that you can feel safe with him. He's going to let you know that he can lead you and that he wants to do life with you. And it's not going to be as hard because you're not in a toxic relationship or you're not in a toxic marriage. So, how can you break being addicted to toxic men? I'm going to encourage you to pray and to ask God to break all of those soul ties emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Ask God to break all that toxicity off of you and break every soul tie so you can be made new in Him. My name is Erica J. Holston, aka Coach Honeylove. I hope that you found this video very beneficial. Let me know what was your favorite part. Comment below and let me know what you think about this. I hope I am able to connect with you soon, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.